All the video clips in this video were made with the Dehancer film emulation tool to give it that film look. I will dedicate a whole video at some point describing this software. Enjoy the show. All right, guys, welcome to another video. This is the Tracker X3, the latest version in the Tracker line. This is the black wash, this is the stone wash, and this is the coyote version of the Tracker, all three trims. Now, I just got to tell you guys, I don't even think I should do this video because I got to tell you, this knife is definitely a sure thing.
I'm a sure thing, okay?
No, not that type of sure thing, Julia. After using the XXL, and I did a full review on the XXL, and having coming from the X2, the Tracker versions prior to this X3, you can see the B-roll and see the difference in size between the X2 and the X3 and the XXL. And I know the X3 is going to basically sing the praises of all the previous Tracker series that I've tested already, so I know it's going to be good. So at this point, we could end the video off now and say, I endorse the Tracker X3. The knife is excellent. Let's move on. But you know what? There's absolutely no fun in that. I put this through a full hard use test, and I'm going to show you that now. Typical Kydex sheet that Off-Grid gives you, it's a typical tight Kydex fitting sheet. You have some MOLLE attachments that you can expand on it if you want to. It's got the Velcro backing here so you can kind of just remove it from your belt and put it back in, so without having to take off your belt, which is for me is kind of probably one of the best features of their sheets. Snaps into place. If I had to make any recommendations on their sheets, I would say if they can come out with maybe some kind of a scout carry option for some of these bigger knives, if it's possible. Maybe some people like the scout carry. This is still probably the size knife that you can probably scout carry. I know with a lot of the bigger knives that they're trying to produce is going to be a little bit of a problem. There's been an issue that I know that a couple YouTubers have been talking about, basically with having, when you pull it out, it kind of just pulls with it. But really, the way these things are designed with this thumb push here, you kind of just push it out and then push it in. You don't have to, you're not really yanking this out, so it's pulling all the way out from the Velcro strap. So I don't see why that's a problem there. And to return it, one hand, samurai style, snap into place, and you're done. So basically, one-hand operation is still perfectly fine with this. And again, return, samurai style, from the spine, snap it in, and it's fine. Your belt's not going anywhere, and you're not like kind of yanking this out. So you kind of use the thumb push, come out, perfect. You don't need to yank it all the way out. So I don't see why that's an issue with anybody kind of, complaining about it not being a solid piece of Kydex here, which honestly would be too stiff and uncomfortable. I really love this option of this Velcro with the button. I think it's absolutely perfect, and I don't see any issues with it whatsoever. So still pretty good design from Off-Grid. I wanted to do something a little bit more scientific as opposed to just cutting paper, which I'm going to do at the end of the video. So I use the Edge On Up Sharpness tester. It uses grams of pressure to tell you how sharp the edge is. There is a margin of error, but for the most part, this is actually a pretty good system to give you a good, accurate picture of actually how sharp the edge is scientifically. You just have to make sure everything is kind of zeroed out so there's no unnatural grams of pressure, and you very, very slowly cut the thread, and the grams of pressure will tell you how easily you were able to cut the thread with that edge. This came out at, honestly, I was checking to see was it cut because it's so light. This came in at a 127. That is actually on the best scale is utility razor blade sharp. That's crazy, crazy sharp. Really, really good edge to start. And just so you know, it's not a fluke, I used another copy of the knife in Stonewash other than the one I'm testing to see how sharp that one is. And that came in at 140, which again is still very, very close in the category of razor blade sharp. Consistency is king. Guys, you saw how sharp this damn thing was basically with the sharps test. So cutting through material like this is absolutely going to be like nothing. And again, not all knives are able to kind of cut through the fire hose like this. It's pretty damn remarkable. When you got a good sharp knife and you got a good grip on it and a good handle, I mean, this is pretty much what you got. I mean, the sharpness level is pretty damn impressive. And the consistency is the thing. It's about basically getting knife after knife after knife. Here's some pull cuts. Freaking amazing. It amazes me basically how consistent Carry is and their OEM with the sharpness level of their knives on all portions of the knife too, not just the middle or the spot or the point or anything like that. All portions of the knife have the equal sharpness level. A stress cut, and just absolutely no problem with 4 in a row. Copper wire, I mean, literally, like, it's not even there. Now, here is the sandblast hose. Now, you see on my videos, a lot of knives have a big hard time with it. Just pierce it, and it'll just cut right through. And it's tough. It's definitely tough, but it gets through it. There we go. Nice. Yeah, this is some really gnarly freaking material to cut through, guys. So the fact that it can make it through is always a testament on a good heat treatment and a good, solid, strong knife. And of course, no damage on the edge whatsoever from what I can see. Able to get through 2 of them here. But honestly, guys, yeah, the sharpness level is good, the edge retention is good, but this thing is a big, solid, mini little chopper. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Guys, listen, I purposely left this whole segment a lot longer because I really wanted to show you exactly how much abuse and how much pressure I put on this knife, just to show you, I mean, how tough it is. Because you know what? I can tell you how tough it is. It looks tough. Yeah, it's got a thick spine. But when you see it in action and you see what the hell this thing can do, you understand. That's why I left this a little bit longer. So if you can bear with it, I got a lot of testing I did on this. So I wanted to really try to get that out to you. Nice bites. Now, this is the beauty of the knife, of a knife this size. It's got kind of like the Tracker XL type of geometric in terms of the chopping ability and the toughness of it, but not having that big blade size. You have a little bit more control over a really already very powerful blade, and really could get in there and do some nice feather sticking and just be one with the knife, doing something kind of like this. You have enough surface area here. You can really kind of get in there and really work the blade into the wood to do some kindling or some wood processing of the wood, which works out well. So that's why I'm saying this knife ends up being more of a really good sweet spot of something between the XXL and maybe like the original Tracker, this being a much bigger blade and more like a 5mm thickness behind the spine. And you could really get in there with a powerful knife, but still be fine enough to be able to do this type of work with it and have just control over it and know that you can basically really choke up on it. But I feel really comfortable working on this knife at this size, doing a lot of this finer work, and leave the really big chopping stuff, you know, with the XXL with the bigger handle. Finish up some of the finer work, you know, having that extra grip you can get on the blade, not being too long of a blade, just a perfect size for a really good, reliable, solid camp knife that's going to stay sharp, that's going to be tough, and that you have just pretty much ultimate control to make up your notches and make up your 10 spikes, debark a tree, kindle wood, process a fire, open up sandbags, open up cement bags at a work site, or make up tent stakes at your campsite. So yeah, I like this knife, man. Do some 4-foot drops, perfectly balanced, as I know it feels in the hand. As soon as you put this in your hand, perfect falls. Let's do some hard downward throws. Nice. Excellent. Yeah, this thing is awesome. This thing is a pleasure to use, and it's just confidence and predictability. That's what you're getting from off-grid. Confidence and predictability that you know what it can handle, you know what it's supposed to handle, you know what it's going to do for you. You're not going to have any issue doing it. So wonderful, wonderful knife. Now, it would not be a steel mindset review if I didn't baton. Especially this knife like this, you know it's going to be tough enough. And it's just, listen, just showing you how tough this freaking knife is. And look at that. I didn't even really touch this thing, man. I know this is kind of a used piece of wood, but it's just going through everything really well, man. This is a thicker piece here. Wow. I mean, processing wood, this is a beauty. Now, this was a problem with one of my other reviews because this has a huge freaking knot in it. So let's see if I can't get through it with this knife here. Coming up on the knot. Here's a knot. Hear it cracking. Hear it snapping and cracking. Yeah, there's a knot that it could not get through. It's right there. Damn, this thing is tough. All right, that's enough, but gotta tell you, that's like the toughest knot I ever went through. It did it, man, but I really beat the crap out of this thing. Purposely done for that reason. I knew this thing would be tough to get through, but this thing is tough, bro. You look at that spine hitting into the G10, not loosened up. The point is awesome. The spine is great. This is a great knife. I mean, honestly, what other knife can you beat the living daylights out of more than some of these off-grid knives, these fixed blades? This Tracker 3 is everything the XXL is, but in a compact version. It's pretty damn amazing. This is a great, solid, little performer. And it's nothing's little about it. It's thick ass, it's balanced, very balanced, beautiful knife to work with. And of course, we got to cut up a tire, test out the coating. This is, I call this the, cutting into the tires is like a coating killer, and that's exactly what it can do, and it has done. So we're going to cut it up. We're going to also pierce the tire to test the point, to see if the point doesn't roll over, and just see how much it's got left to be able to cut through to like a really hard steel belted material. There it goes. There it goes. Ah, beautiful. Nice piercing ability, even though it's got a little bit more of a rounded blade, not a very come to a fine point, more of like a reinforced type of tip, and good for like this type of thing that you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, cuts like a dream. Am I in camera? Yeah, it still cuts really well. This is the hard part of the tire too. Damn. Let's finish the job. Yup. What did I tell you guys? Sure thing. This is a sure thing. I love this freaking Tracker X3. Everything the X2 was, everything the XXL is now, just a smaller size. And I am sweating my ass off. It's a hot day. But this thing is awesome. Solid knife. Great size. Look how it cut through that tire still. Sharp, 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 sharp out of the box. I freaking love this thing. I really do. Is it still sharp? Yeah. It's still sharp. It's still sharp. Oh, yeah. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Just like some of my best katanas. Still has a great freaking working edge, man. Edge retention is phenomenally good. Love it. Whew. Amazing. Love it. Are you convinced? Are you not entertained yet? Pretty wild stuff, don't you think? Let's go through some details of the knife. The Tracker X3 is bigger, stronger, just as tough as the X2. It did just as good as the X2 did, but just has more purchase, more thickness behind the handle, more thickness in the spine, a better ergonomic handle. It's just an improvement over the X2. 3 trims that you can choose from: the Stonewash, the Blackout, and the Coyote. I would love to know what is your favorite in the comments section. Handle design of this Tracker X3 is outrageously comfortable. This latest generation in the Tracker series has the next gen design of the G10 handles that they are unveiling on a lot of their knives. I felt it first in the little slightly larger one in the XXL version, but this Tracker X3 fits in the hand so incredibly well that it's almost like an extension of the wrist. But when it's true, it's true. That's exactly what it is. It's an extension of your wrist. The balance is outrageously comfortable. It's a knife that you could hold and you could use without any fatigue. Can't say that on all knives. It's got a 5.5 inch Cryo D2 blade, proven, solid, strong as freaking steel. It's exactly a ½ inch longer than the X2, powerful and sharp, 62 HRC, 2 inches in width, fine and stock steel at 5 millimeters in thickness, the same as the XXL but shorter. Got a high flat grind, plain edge. The handle, like I said, a next gen G10 handle, textured handle. Chamfering was excellent. The milling is excellent. The milling on the handle is beautiful with the textured handle. The chamfering is excellent to remove any hot spots. Perfectly smooth, perfectly fine, very smooth, and feels great. And it's got a 5.25 inch next gen G10 handle. This sums up to be an $89 knife. An $89 knife. It's a sub $100 knife. You are getting so much bang for your buck with this type of knife at that price point. It's wild. You saw what this thing was put through. You saw how I beat the crap out of this thing. I do not hold back on knives from off-grid. I make sure that I use them the way they're intended to be used. And we cannot forget one of my pet peeves and one of my perks, okay, with off-grid that I tout that they do it better than most companies out there on the planet is their blade coatings. Now, with all of that tire cutting and all of the stuff that I did with it, and you saw how all the knives had scratched, look at how amazing the coating stayed on this freaking knife. Perfectly fine. All I did was kind of wipe it down with alcohol. You have a couple of rubber streaks, but no scratching, no nothing. The coating is absolutely fine. The coating job that they do on their blades is outrageously good and outrageously durable, and I purposely push the harder materials, the steel belted materials on the off-grid knives to show you how good their job is on the coating. So I don't think they get enough credit for what they do with their coatings. Look how beautiful that coating is. And it's just a pleasure to be able to use the knife hard and know that it's still going to look as good as it looks when you first open it. And after all that testing, guys, take a look at the sharpness level of this Coyote, which was my test subject on all my review. Post-cutting, this is the knife I used. Circular cuts. Wild. Absolutely wild. Look at that. still freaking slicing, paper slicing, freaking sharp after the aggressive materials I was going through. I mean, if you're not convinced that off-grid is giving you some of the best heat treatment and some of the best cryo-treated blades in D2 on the market, I don't know what the hell is going to convince you, but this is pretty damn astounding to me that it's still this paper slicing sharp, even after all of the aggressive banging the living daylights out of this thing I did, the steel belted stuff, the tires. To have a knife that's this powerful that you can basically use it with confidence and predictability, you know what it's going to handle, and to know that basically through all of that work and all that pressure and impact on the edge and the point, to know that you have that type of edge retention and it's still paper slicing sharp, and I do not need to treat this blade. If I have to do anything at all, maybe a strop for a couple of passes, and this thing is pin straight, hair popping sharp again. The edge retention and the way they make their blades really amazes me on all their knives. This Tracker X3 did not disappoint in that matter. Guys, I hate to have this sound like an infomercial or commercial, like I'm trying to sell you something, but it's really the truth. When it's the truth, it's the truth. There's not that many sure things in life. We all know that in life, being old enough, being in my 50s. But when we're talking about knives, guys, this Tracker series is a sure thing. It's definitely a sure thing. This Tracker series lives up to all of the toughness and the durability that the Tracker line has proven to be through all these years. Having tested already the XXL version and having tested the X2 before this X3 is pretty much touted everything the X2 was and just so much better. It's like having the XXL but a shorter, stouter version, and I know that I can be perfectly comfortable with this knife. Whatever I throw at it, it's going to be fine. It is a quintessential perfect camping knife, especially of this size, that you have perfect control of it, perfectly durable, can handle the hard stuff, can handle the small stuff. Even in an emergency situation, carrying this, knowing that this is at your side, you know this is going to basically protect your life and save you. Take a look at it, pick it up, guys. Sub $100, you freaking can't go wrong. So the next sort of knife review, guys. Happy Off-Grid Thursday, and I'll see you when I see you on the next review. Ciao. Tracker X3, guys. Really good stuff.